Hi everyone, it's Carrie Wilson back for another video, and today we're going to talk about getting out of your comfort zone because it is so important to get out and try new things because this is how we grow. So what's the point of the comfort zone? The comfort zone is made to kind of regroup, re-strategize, kind of pull your energy back. So when you're healed and you feel better, for whatever the circumstances are, it could be, maybe you lost your job and you need to be, you need to recoup a little bit, or maybe you just came out of a long-term relationship and you need to recoup a little bit. That's all totally normal. It's totally okay. The thing is, the comfort zone is not a permanent state. So if you are staying in this, you kind of retracting and you're going into hermit mode, that's okay if you need to hermit because you're regrouping, your energies are changing. You're learning things about yourself that you didn't know were true about you. And that is so valuable to be self-aware. That's part of why you're here, to be self-aware so you can affect positive change. Now, when the comfort zone gets a little too comfortable and you're in it for a long period of time, that's where you kind of get into trouble. So that's when you're kind of mindlessly scrolling through your Facebook, your social media feeds, or you're just watching TV in the evenings, or maybe you're playing video games and you're not showering. I don't know, whatever's unique to you. But you understand what I'm saying. If you stay in your comfort zone too long, your life starts to get stagnant. And what you'll end up seeing is you're really bored. You don't feel like you have much of a purpose. You don't know why you're here. And you can see where all these questions can kind of play a negative part in your mental wellness, your physical wellness, the relationships that you have with people. It can affect everything. So it's important to identify what the comfort zone is, why it's there, what it's made for, and why we need to constantly push ourselves out of it. We push ourselves out of our comfort zone so we can grow. We learn new things. Magic happens when you step out of your comfort zone, because when you stay in this little comfy place, life is just happening around you. You're going to hear these fantastic stories about people traveled here and they met this amazing person, and they got promoted in their job and they've created this financial wellspring and they can retire well. You're going to start hearing these things. And meanwhile, here you are back in your comfort zone thinking, why don't I have any of that? Well, it's because you were watching TV every weekend and you didn't participate and you didn't try anything new. And this is not meant to be an attack on anybody, because I know I'm guilty of this myself. So that's why I know it's so important to get out of your comfort zone. So I'm filming this in early March 2024. What I know now, the theme of last year was getting out of my comfort zone, because I pushed myself so much to try things that I've never tried before. Even before last year, in 2022, it would have never occurred to me that the things I pushed myself to try, I would even be good at. Like, I am an excellent speaker. I facilitated sessions before in front of people, and apparently I'm really good at it. I would have never, ever, ever volunteered to put my hand up to teach somebody something, because before that, I was very much the person that would be as far back in the classroom or in the room and actually hiding so nobody would call on me. And then I decided, like, hey, I can do that. And here I am in front of the class teaching people my experience. And lo and behold, it was fantastic. I was a natural. I was in my element, and I would have never known if I didn't push myself outside of my comfort zone. So now I know that I can speak in front of people, and it's part of who I am. I know that. I run a meditation group, and you've probably heard me say this before, that goes over so well, to the point where people are asking when are you going to do it again? I love them so much. When am I going to do it again? And if you want to check out some of my meditations, there are some on this channel, and I can go ahead and link that below for you. I hope you enjoy them. That's the point of them. I really want to help people, help them heal, help them raise their consciousness. So please go ahead and try it if you feel called. If you like it, go ahead and put a comment. I'll go ahead and make more. I love doing this, like I said. So why do we want to get out of our comfort zone? So we can self-actualize the person that we really are. You have no idea what you're capable of unless you try. That's the truth. There's no way around that. When we don't try, when we stay in our comfort zone, I can probably give you a list of reasons why you're not doing that, but really it all comes down to fear. You're afraid of something. You're afraid to be seen. You're afraid to be heard. You're afraid of people not liking you if you try something, or you're afraid of failure. It could be all those things, and they're all valid. They're all valid fears. But the thing is, fear isn't real until you make it real. You know, if you're afraid to change jobs, well, what you're saying is you're afraid of leaving what you know because you're afraid of what you don't know. Well, what if what you don't know? What if this new job, this new career sets you on a path that you could have never imagined before? You're bringing in more financial income. Maybe you've met the best friend that you've ever had in your life. Maybe you're able to travel now more freely. I don't know. Whatever the circumstances are, we stay in our comfort zone because bottom line, we're afraid to get out of it. We're going to get into how to do this. First, to get out of your comfort zone, you need to make a decision. With everything else that I'm going to talk to you about on this channel, it all starts with a decision. You have the power to make the decision. And once you make a decision, the whole universe conspires to bring it to you. So making the decision to get out of your comfort zone and try something new is where you start. Next, we're going to talk about transforming your beliefs. Now, this is a little bit heavier because, like I said, we stay in our comfort zone because really at the bottom of it, we're afraid. So when we transform our beliefs, what I'm saying is there's something in you that is stopping you from doing this. Maybe something inside of you is, maybe another way to think about it is something inside of you is protecting you and trying to keep you safe. The truth is, many times, what is stopping us is our subconscious beliefs. And what that is trauma that has been stuck in our body from childhood. So they're inner child wounds. So you can understand when we try to transform these beliefs, it can be heavy, it can be very triggering. You may have also heard this referred to as shadow work. And it's really it's your inner child. It's your inner child that has been traumatized. And look, we all have it. Not a single one of us, not one of us got through our childhood without some kind of trauma. And it may not be overtly harsh or obvious. The one example that I even heard from somebody else is they remember being in the back seat of their parents' car and the parent was driving, they drove past an accident. And then it wasn't something that was specifically done to them, but it's traumatizing enough to be in their psyche from then on. And it sits. If I could draw it right now, it almost like, imagine this is your mind. Your subconscious mind is here, and this is where it lives. Whatever that trauma is, that's where it lives. And until you purposely acknowledge that trauma and allow it to come up, clear it out, and make peace with it, what you're really doing essentially is loving your inner child and telling your inner child, I've got you. I'm so sorry that you went through this, but I've got this. I've got us. And I get a little emotional about it because I went through this, and apparently I had been shoving down so much trauma from having a narcissistic parent my entire life. I didn't think I could actually cry. I was like, oh, I'm not a crier. I don't cry. I don't know. I just don't get very emotional that way. I'm a very happy person, but I don't cry. Well, that was a bunch of crap, because once I started to deal with this part of me, I cried Like, it wasn't even just sobbing. Like, I was like scream crying to the point where I didn't recognize my own voice when this was happening. I had no idea that it's because that inner child is afraid to be seen, or whatever the fear is personal for you. My inner child was still there, that damage was still there. So unless it was healed, I was going to keep on hitting these spikes, those, yay, I'm successful, and boom, okay, we're going to work our way back up, okay, oh, and we're going to keep on coming down. It doesn't even occur to us that that's still there. And it could be, it could show up for you in your romantic relationships, your finances, um, home life, or um, anything. It could come up anyhow, anywhere, or even in your intimate relationships. You have great relationships, you've had great relationships, but being intimate with somebody, letting them to see the deepest truth of you, maybe that's a little bit hard. So to get out of your comfort zone, you're going to make a decision, and then you're going to work on transforming your beliefs. And that takes a lot of self-reflection, self-awareness, and really going within and allowing that conversation to happen between you and you. It's very important, because without it, you're going to stay stuck. And even if you make a little progress forward, you're going to come back. You're going to keep on coming back until you deal with it. I don't want to be the bearer of this. I know this is heavy, but it's true. So if you really want to be successful, if you really want to live an experience you've never had before, something completely positive, something you've always dreamed of, you're going to have to deal with whatever is going on within, whatever is stopping you from trying new things. And you know what you're going to do, you know how you're going to step out into your comfort zone, and that fear hits, you do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. If you're scared, do it scared. Swallow it down and use that energy like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and nail it. I've got this. You give yourself a pep talk and you do it anyway. The thing is, the truth is, when you step out there and you're scared, you're trying something new, and even if people are watching you, nobody knows you're scared. Nobody knows that you are about to vomit. Okay? Nobody knows unless you tell them. So use it to your advantage. Use that energy to your advantage to really just step out there, put yourself out there, meet new people, try new things, be adventurous. I mean, you'll have a story to tell, even if you don't get it right the first time, or if it didn't work out. You have an experience, you have tried something, you'll learn something from it every single time, every single time. And the more you do it, the easier it will be to step out of your comfort zone, to the point where you don't even consider not doing it, because you know this is what you were meant to do. If this resonates for you, please go ahead and put a comment below. I know I'm not the cheese that stands alone in this, that has gone through this and really pushed themselves and really, really is striving to create a life that is amazing, one step at a time. Remember, the only limits you will ever experience are the ones that you put on yourself. So when in doubt, just keep going. Just try. Just keep going and do it anyway, y'all. Do it anyway, and you will not regret it. One of the worst things in life is regret, because we cannot do it over. So do it anyway. Do the thing that scares you the most. Be the person that you're afraid to be, and amazing things will happen. If you like this video, go ahead and like below, leave a comment. I love connecting with all of you. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.